Now, before you go to roll a camera and start shooting that project, that passion project, that professional project, that amateurish project, can call it. Yes, there's some things you need to consider. Of course, film production has 3 key stages that you go through after you have identified your script. Number 1, you will do pre-production. The next thing you're going to do is production. And then the last thing you're going to do is post-production. But now the film process itself has 5 stages. So you don't confuse the process of shooting and the process of now the whole process of filmmaking, whereby we have the development stage, whereby you now come up with you have an idea, come up with a script, develop a script. Then the next thing is, after you've developed your script, take it to pre-production stage. Then after pre-production, go into production stage. After production, that's when you go to post-production, where you do the editing bit. And then after that, after editing, you go to distribution and marketing, whereby this is where you now take your movie or your product to be seen or sell it outside there to the whole world to see. Yes. So today we are going to delve into learning and understanding some of the key elements that come into pre-production, because these are things that people ignore so much. And I started by mentioning, whether you're going to shoot that amateur project or maybe that project that you don't care so much about, but I know you care because you've invested your time and money into it. It's only that maybe you've invested little, but still, that is still an investment. So please, make sure you follow these steps, or you consider these things very, very keenly. Number 1 is budgeting and scheduling. So what do I mean by budgeting and scheduling? Budgeting and scheduling will come a long way, whereby, of course, I know my project either is a low budget production or is a high budget production. Am I able to calculate everything in this script and this production to fit the budget that I have done? Now, this is the moment whereby unaona budget ikisomo, si vitu zina budget ikisomwa ya mwaka ya country, huwa wanasema kitu fulani tutaitengea pesa fulani, tutatengea watu wa education pesa fulani, tutatengea creative sector pesa fulani, tutatengea hawa na tutatengea. Si wanasemaga hivyo? So because they say that, now the same thing, chukua hii budget, anza kutenga. Unajua ni low budget, maybe it's not a lot of money, let's say 100,000 shillings and you're shooting a short film. Tenga pesa ya crew, tenga pesa ya actors, tenga pesa ya equipment, tenga pesa ya chakula. Unajua mpaka ifit the budget yenye iko allocated for that particular project. Okay? The other thing is schedule. Pigia wase simu, panga nini, like kulingana na schedule ya mse mwenye anapatikana, especially ile time unaenda kufanya casting na vitu kama hizo. Okay? So make sure umepigia wase, umeconfirm this person is available on this day, nini vitu kama hizo. Then panga schedule yako kulingana na ile location pia unaenda, hiyo location iko available at that time na vitu kama hizo. Okay? The next thing that you're going to do is team assembly. Assemble team bana. You cannot do this thing all alone. You need a team. You need a group of people you're going to work with to make sure that you are bringing into fruition that idea or that particular film that you're working on. Either you're working on a podcast, either you're working on some bit of content, maybe a commercial, an advert, or you're doing a feature film, a short film, or whatever. Guys, you need a team. Filmmaking goes a long way to becoming goes a long way when it has a team. Okay? Because right here, of course, sina team ya watu wengi, but I have somebody who helps me in editing. I have somebody who is on the camera on the other side. I need more people on the camera on the other side. We need somebody to monitor my sound, someone to do the lighting, someone. So of course one man can do it, but when you are one man, can you give 100% on everything? You cannot give 100% on everything. And sometimes I find myself, maybe you can find yourself shooting yourself, but no, when you shoot yourself, you won't give 100% on everything. And that's why you need a team. And that team is very important because it helps you select and identify 100%. Yani, kila mtu, ukisema huyu ni mtu wa sound, atafanya 100%. Huyu ni mtu wa editing, kazi yake iko dedicated into editing 100%. My work is on this other side of the camera, where it is to talk to you guys and give you information and content and information. It is, I go research, I give it 100%. I come, I present, I give it 100%. Yes. So teamwork is very important, and teamwork makes dream a reality, or dream work. Nilikuwa mnangoja niseme dream work. Okay, dream work production. Anyway, the other thing is that people ignore so much the contract and permits, and very soon I'm going to talk about also just the kind of contracts and permits that you need to put in place when you are going to do production. So of course, what do I mean by contract and permits? You need to be very, very careful and consider working around such documents, is because whether this project you feel it's small, and of course for people wenye tumefanya na nyinyi job na maybe sometimes sijakupatia contract, or maybe tumekuja kushoot mahali pako hujatupatia permission, yani ile written permit yenye tumeandika wote tumesign, hey, forgive me, because going forward from now on, yes, contracts are very important, because you never know. Hii movie tunaweza kwa tunaiassume, tunaidharau nika kitu kadogo. Hii content, hii podcast, whatever thing we might be dharawing, nika kitu kadogo, tunakadharau juu ni kadogo tunaanza. But 10 years later, 5 years later, 3 years later, you find this thing grows big. It start making a lot of money. Na because tulifanya kaa zero budget, unapata sasa msee anasema, mazi hiyo project mazi yake nilikuaga pale na walio kunipeaga hata kakitu. Sasa hizi ona venye ina hit. You see, like those hit music yenye tunasikiza saa hizi, like people have heard this song, Kasongo yeah. Sasa Kasongo, haya sasa hiyo wimbo ya Kasongo, imagine right now it's now a hit right now, and even I don't know if that person is alive or dead, but I don't know, but the singers of the music, the singers and the songers and the writers right now is when it is booming. Na hii ni wimbo ya miaka na mikaka enzi za kule nyuma. Yes, so look at it. If these people didn't have contract, maybe wase wenye mse mwenye alicheza drum, mse mwenye aliproduce, mse mwenye ameimba, yani when the person who owned this music hakukuwa ameandikishana any contract na everybody else who was part of that music, unaona sasa inabaki ni mtu mmoja ana benefit from the fame, from the promotions, from the marketing, and even the free publicity that music is enjoying. Mliona ile wimbo ya ule mtu wetu wa pale Coast ya ilikuwa ya mimi ni mzabibu, baba ni mkulima. Okay, so whichever that song was. So that song was produced back in the 1990s, and then look at right now, like this is the time it's making sense. I don't know if it's the 1990s or early 2000s, but yeah. So please make sure you do some bit of contract. Just draft a contract, take it to a lawyer, akusaidie kudraft kitu ina make sense manze. Kitu yenye hata ukienda kupeleka koti unaweza present kitu. Then again, sometimes we forget this thing because tuna assume that maybe project haitaenda mbali. Another thing can happen like this, hii project nimemaliza, nimeiuza wapi? I'm selling it to a distributor. The distributor I'm selling them to, for example, ni Netflix, for example, ni Showmax, on a TV, and any other distribution platform. Nikiwauzia hii content, of course they will ask for contracts, so that they don't want dramas. Azitaki kuona msee ako pale kwa ametokea kwa sinema, yet mtu anaanza kusema movie yangu iko Amazon haujalipwa, so mtu ameenda X amepiga kelele, ameenda social media, every other place, TikTok, nini anapiga kelele, and then it ends up like destroying the reputation of that company or that company that is distributing that content. So please guys, it's very important. Contract and permits. Mtu unaweza shutia kwa nyumba yake, alafu aone leo nimekusaidia nyumba, then umetumia all the artifacts, the furnitures, nini. Do you know this person can come back and sue you because you used his furniture without his consent or without her consent? Juu hauna written consent yenye alikuambia unaweza tumia nyumba yangu. You get to that B&B, they give you the space, then you come back, and then they see this thing is a hit, it's making money, but you never paid for the B&B the due amount because you are doing on low budget. Please, contracts. Takuja kuguzia hiyo in details so much. Then another thing is you can do previsualization. So when I talk about previsualization, what am I talking about? I'm talking about now visiting the sets, understanding venye hii set tutaipanga aje. Wacha kuanda kuamka asubuhi. This is what a majority of us do. Umesikia nimeandika script, si ndio? I've finished writing my script. It's a very beautiful story because I wrote it out of my imagination. I didn't know where I'm writing. I'm just writing, I'm placing it in a world where I'm going to create that world. So what happens, najipata sasa nimeenda set siku ya kushoot, nimepewa nyumba na my uncle, na hiyo nyumba nimeandika script ina happen tu kwa living room. Because of my mentality, I just thought of something yenye ni kidogo, na maybe uncle wangu amenipatia bungalow, nyumba fiti. So I start discovering, wow, si ningeandika scene ya kitchen, ako na bathtub, wow, si tuandike scene, tuweke scene kwa bathtub. So you see now, this one you didn't prepare because you had whatever you had in mind, you wanted to communicate something yenye na happen kwa living room na story imeisha. But now because you've now arrived on set, unapata set iko na a lot to offer. That's when you start wasting a lot of time and start rethinking the script. You don't need to rethink that time. Another example could be, rethink script yako, umeona venye unaenda kushoot kwa bungalow. Then all of a sudden, you don't get a bungalow while shooting. You get a small kahau yenye unaenda tu ka bed sitter. Na unaambiwa sasa hii ndio iko available, use that to tell your story. Sasa ulikuwa umeandika mpaka kuna kitchen, kuna foyer, kuna veranda, kuna sijui compound. Sasa hizo unashutia kwa plot ya wenyewe. What do? You go back. So previsualization helps you to go back, rewrite your script, restructure your script, even before you invite crew and cast into shooting that project. Okay? So ukienda umefanya location scouting, umeona location inakaa hivi na hivi, then you go back. Unasema, yes, nimeona location ilikuwa na vitu fulani A, B, C, D. And these things can be very important when it comes to telling my story. So because I saw a bathtub, na sikuwa nimeandika na mind ya bathtub, I think I'm going to use a bathtub because I'm going to write a scene in the bathroom with a bathtub because it's very creative and it can bring out some cinematic element in my story and push it forward. So previsualization helps you go back, redraft, restructure your story using now the location that you have in mind. Like mko sure hii ndio location tunaenda kushoot. Okay? So do set visit, do location visits before you go shoot. Wacha kwenda ku visit wacha kwenda unajikuta location ndo unaanza kufikiria na by the way to shoot hapa. No, panga. Okay? Then the other thing is casting. So make sure you choose your cast according to the abilities they have and even the script, the way the script has been presented. Choose the cast kwa hiyo line. Wacha kuchoose cast na just random, you call it your random friend. Ita watu na ukiwaita cast wapatie ka contract, si ndio? Wasign hapo anyway, because it will help you in the near future. Because if I host somebody in this show and when I start hosting people in my show, si kutakuwa na ile mtu akikuja lazima tuandikiane contract, because this thing can hit and then maybe akuja sema unajua mimi sikukupa, nimekupea ruhusa kunionyesha, mimi nilifikiria unafanya podcast ya kuongea na tena umetuweka kwa video, you see now that one I didn't agree upon. You start again having problems. Now the other thing is also do tech recce. When I talk about tech recce, what am I talking about? Like enda utest equipment zako before when they shoot. Yes. You don't want to imagine that you are going with your camera to shoot, then umefika kwa set, camera imekataa kuwaka. Yeah, imagine that. It's very bad. So do tech recce, do sound check, everything. Yani just do these checks, because when you select a team, hiyo team kila mtu acha afanye job yake na afanye make sure that kila kitu yenye anafanya inaenda as per according to plans. Then the other thing, last but not least, kindly just do rehearsals. Whether you're going to do rehearsals on that set or you're going to do rehearsals before the shoot, go do rehearsals. Especially this is what happens for film production, short films, feature films, adverts and stuff like that. Make sure you just do rehearsals. But come on, maybe podcast, just do tech visit, like do some tech rehearsals. Make sure that the equipment are working very well and they are conversant in the environment that you're setting up. Yeah, so do rehearsals. Thank you so much. So that is all for today, and I'm super excited to just bringing you all these, and thank you for all those who are reaching out, Manze. You are asking me questions, you are pushing me, you're telling me you're on set, you're working on something, you want me to come and see, you want me. Sometimes I might not be available, but when I'm available, I'll show up, guys. I'll show up, and we have to make sure that we are telling the stories and we are building the community and even Yani, let's restore bana. Let's restore the pride that film had in this nation, in this world. Yeah, so thank you so much, and until next time, adios.